This is Robert Clotworthy, the narrator of The Curse of Oak Island, and I have a question for you. Could it be that you are listening to The Curse of Oak Island and Beyond live stream?
This is a top pocket find, mate, for sure.
All right, hey, welcome everybody to The Curse of Oak Island and Beyond live stream. I'm your host, Jeff Freeman, and tonight we are going to be doing a aftermath discussion and whatnot about Hurricane Fiona. And thank you very much to our special co-host tonight, Linda Simpson, Tom Burns, and Dale Kearney. Thank you, guys.
Hello.
We are going to be doing tonight. We're gonna be talking to some of the guys from the island. That are going to join us, and also maybe a few others. Jeff Babineau. Some of the folks were kind of iffy if they could make it on here in time with us tonight, but Tony Sampson and Jeff Babineau, and let's see, who else did we have? Colin, Jamieson. So we're going to see if they can, make it on, I guess, and kind of give us a little bit of an update as to what has happened after the hurricane passed through there, and some of the. I guess the Oak Island area, Mahone Bay didn't take the full force of it, which is great, but some areas did. And obviously that's our prayers are out for those people, and they're still reeling from all that. Dale and Tom, you guys up there. So how were things for you guys? Tom, if you want to go first.
Yeah, I'm in southwest New Brunswick, so close to the Bay of Fundy, about 50 miles away from Nova Scotia, but we escaped it. Primarily, we got a little bit of wind. We got some 70, 80 kilometer an hour winds, so 40 or 50 miles an hour. Certainly not the hammering that people like Dale got and sort of the northeast coast of Nova Scotia and Cape Breton, Newfoundland. Those people got, for lack of a better term, they got hammered.
Yeah.
But we escaped here. I had a couple of single tabs, that sort of thing. Nothing could be fixed up or raked up the next morning.
Right. Wow. Dale, so you're Amherst, up in Amherst. How are things there?
It was terrible. To be honest, it was terrible. We had we were sitting here. Well, we were asleep, and about 2:30 in the morning, the wind got ferocious, and Sherry came downstairs, and she kept hearing banging by the side of the house, and she said, "I think we lost our shed." I said, "What? No." So I went out and looked, and sure enough, the shed's gone.
Oh my
God. It was in the backyard. It was in our neighbor's yard. It was in our other neighbor's yard. Part of it was in the pool. And then the storm eased up around, I don't know what time, Sherry, 9? Around 9 in the morning. Wow. And I went out and assessed the damage, and our shingles on our front of our roof are all gone.
Oh my gosh.
Then the rain started, and we had a lot of water damage in the ceiling. Goes from the front of our house. There's 2 bedrooms in the front of our house. The ceilings in there are all wet and damaged. And you can see the marks on the water marks in the ceiling. Yeah, there's a carpet upstairs in one of the bedrooms that's all wet. We're not sure what the insulation is like. That's probably soaked. Coming down the hallway, there's another spots with water damage. Down the hallway, going down the stairs, just a couple of spots there. The wind sucked the shutters off the front of the house.
Oh wow!
We figured it was about $30,000 to $40,000 damage.
Wow! And that's just your house. Oh my gosh!
And we bought the house 6 months ago yesterday.
You just got the pool cleaned, and now it's full of debris. Again.
Oh yeah, there's shingles in the pool. Sherry had to go in the pool yesterday. It's 60 degrees in the pool, and she had to go in the pool and get some shingles out. And
you guys had to take some of the water out of it, right? Didn't you?
We
drain
took it down about 2 feet. Because of the amount of rain that was coming, and it was crazy. It was one of the worst. We went through Hurricane Dorian and Hurricane Juan in Halifax, and we've never seen anything like that before here. And we were 6 hours from the eye.
Yeah, and they say it's almost like you took the 2 of them and mashed them together for strength and size.
Yeah, it was just insane. So we got the roof. Yeah, someone's asking if we got the roof tarp. Yeah, we have a guy that came up and put a temporary tarping on the roof. He said it's not going to leak anytime soon. So I said, thank God. And then our store downtown, we had a lot of white stuff that fell on top. And what it is, it was fine dust from gyprock because the store shook so much and the building's old. A bunch of gyprock on top of everything. So we had to shut the store down for about 4 days, 5 days extra just to get the store cleaned.
So it was in the store.
It was, the gyprock was in the ceiling, but it looks like it just shook so much that a lot of the white gyprock dust came down and everything. So we had that, but we didn't have to report any damage there. It was just a matter of brushing everything off and dusting it off and cleaning the whole place up. And I think it's the cleanest the store's looked since we moved in.
So how long were you without power, Dale?
We were lucky. We were very lucky. The power went out around 3 a.m. and it came back around 3 p.m.
Very lucky.
Yeah. So we were very good.
I took a quick look today just to see what the power situation was in PEI and Nova Scotia, who were the two really, as far as the volume of people hit. And at noontime today, there were still 22,000 customers in PEI with no power.
Wow.
Nova Scotia had almost 30,000 with no power.
When the storm hit, it was almost 500,000 people, I think, without power in Nova Scotia.
486,000 was the highest number that I saw.
I'm never nervous. I'm never scared or anything like that. But yeah, it was scary. It was one of the scariest things I've went through. We were up most of the night. We slept for about an hour. And then the wind was just so ferocious and so scary. And the police had the road blocked off. They had the police car at the bottom of our, like right in front of our house with the lights on, and they were blocking the road off. And they couldn't figure out why, because I thought it was a tree branch. And next morning I went out and looked, and there's a whole section of trees up the road that fell. They landed on the road. They took wires down on the other side. We're on a different grid, so we didn't get affected by that one. But it was just frightening. Frightening. So we talked to the insurance company. They said everything should be covered. There shouldn't be a problem. So we're lucky there.
Yeah, for sure. Wow.
But the Fortress of Louisburg got damaged, I was reading.
The what did?
Fortress of Louisburg.
Oh, wow.
They got a lot of roof damage, a lot of chimney damage, and they're shut down for a little bit because of it. So they got some damage down there from it. Because they were like, Louisburg to Sydney's maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So, and the eye of the storm went through Waikagama, which was about maybe an hour from Sydney. So yeah, they were in the direct path of that.
Did they have any shore erosion up there? Do you know, Dale?
I think they did. Yeah. A lot of places along the coast had shore erosion. My old hometown in the Waterford in Cape Breton was just pummeled. It was bad.
I know with Louisburg, the archaeologists were sort of in a hurry up offense up there for the last 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
they're trying to do the shoreline archaeology because the shoreline is already eroding with the rising sea level.
Yeah. So
I'm just thinking if this actually made things worse for them.
Probably, you would think so. Yeah.
I noticed Scott Barlow had posted pictures, and friends had posted on his page, but there were some from the dunes up in that area, PEI.
Cavendish, yeah.
And they're gone.
Yeah,
they're gone. Yeah, and those
they're
dunes
totally
are
gone. They've been there forever, and they're just gone.
Yeah. The wind was just ferocious. It was strong. It was 145 kilometers in Sydney. It was sustained at 100 and then gusting to 145 to 149 in Sydney.
Yeah,
which is just outside of Louisburg.
Yeah, I lived on PEI twice. I was posted over there 2 different times. I lived in Charlottetown, Summerside, and a small village called Crapo. And I've been out to those dunes, and they're huge. And when you look at the pictures before and after, they were huge, and now they're gone.
Wow.
Yeah, wiped out. And if you look at the aerial photographs of PEI, you can actually see where there's an extra band of sand around.
Right. It's just like more beach.
More beach.
Yeah. And then poor Newfoundland was just, Bonavista was just wrecked. They lost, there was 2 women swept out to sea. One of them they got back alive, and the other one, she didn't make it, unfortunately. But they lost homes over there into the ocean and stuff like that. It was just terrible.
The homes were taken right off these places were high above, they were 15, 20 feet above the shoreline vertically.
Yeah, there's some videos of their houses being knocked off.
Yep. And they're gone. They're just out to sea, they're gone.
Yeah, that was some of the pictures that they show was just absolutely devastating. I mean, I can't imagine. I've been, we've seen, over the course of my life, I've seen some devastating weather, but nothing like this. Nothing where you lose your property, your home, and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I wanted to say too that folks, as you're watching, we've sent out invites. We have one just popped in here. I'm going to bring him on just in a second here, but we've sent out some invites to the folks that we talked to before on that Friday night before Fiona hit up there, and what they were doing to prepare and all that. And we caught this gentleman right here, Laird Niven. We caught him kind of late. And Laird, how are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Doing very well. And I got the gang here, Dale and Tom Burns and Linda Simpson. So we're really happy, and thank you for coming on, Laird. I appreciate it.
No problem. Sorry, just playing with my camera here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So, yeah, we were just kind of curious. I know we talked to you prior to Fiona hitting, or as it was making landfall. Tell us a little bit. I mean, glad to see you're okay. How are things in your area?
Well, we were to the very west of the hurricane, so we got a lot of wind and some rain, but for the most part, the damage was pretty minimal.
Oh, okay, good.
Our house, we just had branches down from the neighbors. We lost power for 30 hours, I think.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So nothing major.
That's good.
Laird,
My
did
place
the
Mahone
storm
Bay
affect your ride
got
today
hit by
at
a
all?
tree, so it had power. I didn't get power back there until Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Go ahead, Linda. What, you had a question?
well, I was just wondering if the storm affected your ride yesterday morning at all.
It only affected it in that it was supposed to be 100 kilometers, and the last part of the trail was closed, so it ended up being 87 kilometers.
It was a beautiful day yesterday, though.
The temperature was perfect.
Yeah, it was beautiful yesterday.
Yeah.
What was the medal you had hanging around your neck?
Yeah, you had a medal.
Oh, that's the medal they give everybody. When you got to the end, they had all these people cheering, and then you stopped and got a medal. A medal and a beer. So.
Oh, the beer. There you go. That's a good part. You probably needed that.
There's always a beer at the end of a good ride.
Yeah.
What kind of beer was it?
Oh, it was a Garrison. So Garrison's a local brewery in Halifax.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Garrison's is good.
Yeah.
Well, I have to try that. Do they have that at the Mug and Anchor? Do they have Garrison's at the Mug and Anchor?
You know what? I don't order it. They may. My go-to beer at the Mug and Anchor is a Propeller. So.
The Propeller. Oh, wow. See,
Propeller
all kinds of
Brewery.
these names. I have no idea anything about these beers.
They're a local in Halifax and Godgen Street.
Oh, are they?
Okay. They make amazing beer.
Yeah. I have one right now. So.
Oh, there you go. So, how about friends and family in the area? Everybody that you know, everybody okay?
In this area, yeah. PEI, so that's Scott Barlow's home province, he was really upset. It's really hard hit. They've lost a lot of land. They lost a lot of dunes on their western shore, or eastern shore, that protects the lands from erosion. So he's pretty concerned about the whole province for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But no, everyone around here is fine. Steve and Doug are from the Annapolis Valley, and there were no problems there. So we were really lucky. We've experienced the direct path of a hurricane before, and we were kind of glad to see it. Well, we were glad to see it go anywhere else. But
Laird, did you find this worse than Dorian and Juan?
Oh no, Juan was much worse.
I didn't find that. I thought it was worse. This one, weird.
No, for us.
Well, Juan was more of a direct hit for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, Juan was quite a bit more direct hit. Yeah.
Everybody keeps asking now if we're going to have a white Fiona, because we have white Juan after the hurricane after Juan.
Yeah.
So everybody's asking now if we're going to get a white Fiona.
What's a white wand?
White Juan happened 6 months after we had the hurricane. We got like 100 and some centimeters of snow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
In 24 hours.
In 24 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody now is thinking we had this big hurricane in Nova Scotia. We're going to get a big snowstorm again.
Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't see our front steps. I remember we actually woke our son up because he was just young, just to come down so he could look at the snow, and he just laughed and jumped into the.
We lived on Dahlia Street in Dartmouth at the time when the white Juan hit, and I couldn't believe the snow. I couldn't even get to work. I couldn't even get out the door. It was crazy.
We live in a.
What year was that?
What's that?
When was that? What year was that?
That's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
20 years ago?
At least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we live in a little dead end street, and our neighbor showed up. He had an auction house, so he showed up with a front end loader, and he actually dug us out so we could.
It was really cool watching the snow blowers going around with the big trucks, and they're just taking the snow, but in the back of the trucks and then dumping it. There was that much snow. They never done that before.
No.
Cat says it was 2004 when that happened.
Yeah, roughly. About 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, we kept power during that. White One, our power was out for 8 days. So.
Oh, wow. Wow.
In the winter.
That's even worse.
Yep. Looks like we got Colin. He's on his phone. He's enjoying a propeller. Is that a propeller also, or?
Nope, we got to get a local Tanner Brewing from Chester Basin.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the one that's made with the swamp water. I'm still waiting for that ale to come out. It'll be a dark ale, I'm thinking, right? So
no doubt.
maybe a lager. How you doing, Colin? How's things there?
Pretty good. I just wanted to beam in just for a second, just to say hi. I left my laptop at the office, so I'm just on the phone. But I mean, I don't know if you can see behind me or not, but it's not bad out in the Mahone Bay today.
Is it sunny down there?
It's not sunny. It's overcast, but it's cool. It's nice all day in Nova Scotia.
Yeah,
there you go.
How did things turn out around your place there, Colin?
Remarkably well. It was kind of interesting. I was really nervous on Saturday morning because they're talking about the storm surge.
Yep.
I really want to show you the power of the storm because here my high tide was actually looked like my low tide, and the low tide that we had was the lowest tide I've ever seen I've been here for 12 plus years, because it kind of sucked all the water from this end of the province and moved it all around to PEI and Newfoundland and the craziness I guess everyone saw in Fort Avast and stuff. It was terrible.
It's amazing how it does that. It truly is.
Yeah, we were on the right side of the storm down in the South Shore. So
yeah, this time, yeah, that's a great thing. Yeah, I saw the pictures of your place. You actually went out in the boat with your boat guide. I saw. What's your dog's name?
It's Oscar the blind, he's a blind wiener dog. So he's not much. He's only good for smelling and hearing, but he seems to take me to the right places.
There you go. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks for stopping in, Colin. I appreciate it very much. We're glad you guys are safe up there. Enjoy the beer and enjoy the view, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Yep.
See you, Colin.
Bye, Colin.
See you, Colin.
So yeah, it's good to hear. Wow. So everybody back to, and we're not here to really talk too much about Oak Island with you guys, but everybody back to work. Everything okay on the island there, Laird?
Oh yeah, no, there are some downed trees along the shore.
Mm-hmm.
The trees really have nothing. The roots can only travel along the rocks.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Shore, so they don't have a lot of purchase. So
yeah.
But
so
no, everything's fine.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Fantastic. Man, we were hoping so. And that bodes too well too. We know that Billy Gerhardt, his team, they went around and reinforced with all the rock all the way around the island. I mean, it was literally, he just kept, I don't know how many years it took him to complete that job, but he's now got that rock all the way around, which is there to help protect against this very thing.
Well, he put rock around Isaac's Point.
Yep.
And maybe a little bit of Smith's Cove. The rest of the island is still as it was.
Well, yeah. Oh, Smith's Cove. And also the swamp area on the south side of the swamp, all around there.
The swamp to protect Swamp Road. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly, to protect the road and the causeway, because we know that last time that one hurricane, it didn't get wiped out, but boy, it got damaged pretty bad, didn't it?
I remember looking and trying to figure out when was the best time to try to get my car across, because the water was hitting it and the spray was coming right over. Yeah.
Wow.
You don't want that salt spray getting into your car.
No.
No.
I didn't want to spend the weekend on the island either, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll let you get off of there when you can.
Yeah.
The salt spray gets up into your electronics, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
One different thing about the storm, it didn't suck the leaves off the trees this year. During one, we lost all the leaves off our trees, and this year they're still there. So it's going to be a pretty fall down here, and I think the island's going to look really pretty too with all the leaves changing colors.
Yeah,
well, I think that the difference might be that in places like PEI, it didn't knock the leaves off; it just knocked the tree over.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we're glad there's several. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, they get some massive. There must be 100, 150-year-old trees over there that are just literally ripped right up by the roots.
Oh, there's somebody asking about your celebrity bike ride.
I feel surprisingly good.
How many kilometers was it?
It ended up being 87.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was a little. I couldn't remember the last time my quads hurt as much as they did on the way back. But today's fine. Today we went for a walk, so
I'd be dead after that.
Yeah, me too.
Planning the bike to work on Tuesday morning, so it'll be interesting to see when I sit on the bike how I feel.
How much did you end up raising, Laird?
About just over $5,600.
Awesome.
Wow. Very
That's
good.
amazing.
Yeah,
What a great cause.
yeah, it really was. It was a huge turnout. 1,400 riders.
Oh wow.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So they raised over $2 million.
And what was the cause again, if you don't mind
That
mentioning?
was cancer. It was they're raising money for specific treatment equipment for the IWK.
Okay.
Awesome.
Wow. Is that now? You had your hat. You did something with a hat recently too, didn't you?
That's all part of that whole.
Oh, that's all part of the same thing. Okay. Yep. Yeah, and the hat signed by everybody.
Yeah, except Tony Sampson. I have to get Tony.
Oh, okay. How old was that hat? I mean, that looks pretty well worn. That one.
You know what? That was 1 year. I wore it 1 season.
1 season, really?
Oh yeah.
I got a Laird signature on my hat.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I kind of miss that hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I'm missing that hat.
Okay, I'm going to do my update, and I'm doing it now.
All right, go ahead.
We're up to $11,320 for Christmas Daddies.
Excellent.
Yay.
Because someone last night decided, she's over there, she said, let's do a crazy prize pack and offer if anybody donates $5,000. I'm like, nobody's going to donate $5,000. So we put a bunch of stuff like a wool blanket, mittens. We put a whole bunch of stuff together, like $500 worth of stuff. 5 minutes, $5,000 donation came in from Miss Linda there.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Thank you,
That's
Linda. And
fantastic.
then Linda decided that she only wants to put 100 tickets in, and that's it. So,
Wow.
so yeah.
Can I have the rest of her tickets to go? No, okay, never mind.
No.
If you're really nice, maybe you'll get a present.
Ooh,
last
all right,
last
cool.
year's donation to Christmas Daddies, if you include both hats, we were $1,500 short of beating Walmart Canada for Christmas Daddies.
Wow.
So this year I'm trying everything I possibly can to reach that $30,000 to donate it to beat Walmart this year.
Wow.
So we're at 11,000. We still have a month and a half to go, and the stuff that Rick has donated is quite popular. A lot of people are asking about it.
Oh yeah. Well, you got the signet, and he like the cribbage board. I know he gets
again.
that. The cribbage board. You guys call it. What do you call it? You call it something different. I call it a cribbage board.
We call it crib board.
Yeah,
A
it's a
crib board. Okay. So I mean, those are now he has obviously has the design and the holes done by somebody else, but then he came up with all the design and everything for it, right? And then signed it.
Yeah,
He makes it,
someone
right?
told me he actually makes them, but
Wow.
yeah, the girl, the person that does the engraving, she said he's only brought 25 of them to us. That was it. So there's only about 25 of these.
That's
And it
amazing.
smells like seaweed.
It smells like swamp wood.
It actually smells like seaweed because it is money pit wood. So
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
the picture frames. So he did the picture. He made those picture frames too, and he
Yeah.
signed that. So that was really cool. So really cool things that have been donated this year. And of course, then Linda, not only did she do this great gift, wow, that's a great donation, but also you gave the hat back. The
Yes.
hat that you ended up with last year, she gave it back to put back into the auction for this year.
this hat brought in $24,000 last year.
Wow.
You
And we
guys,
got a-
I do a Christmas Daddies kind of charity in Kansas. It's called Goodfellows.
Mhm.
And we raise these kinds of funds for kids here. So it's important to support kids everywhere.
Absolutely.
Well, this year especially, I mean, there's a lot of damage from the hurricane. I don't want to sound like
Right.
I'm trying to pander off the hurricane, but there's a lot of damage from the hurricane, especially down in Cape Breton and stuff. And a lot of people don't have insurance, believe it or not. So there's parents going to be paying out of pocket for a lot of this stuff. And that's going to cut in from somewhere, and it's probably going to cut into Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why it's more important this year than it
Speaking
was.
of that,
What's
yeah,
that?
speaking of that deal, different people have been asking that want to help out the victims of the hurricane, you know,
Yeah.
what they should do or where they should go. And the same thing goes for the people in the United States who are suffering from Hurricane Ian. So
Red Cross.
the best place to go is in Canada. If you're looking at Canadian websites, it's www.redcross.ca, and you can go on there and you can basically pick your disaster. But this is the one right now that the government of Canada said that any Canadian or company that donates to this fund right now, the government of Canada will match
Up to $10 million.
up to October 20th.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in the United States, it's virtually the same, www.redcross.org. For any people in the United States that would like to contribute, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, you don't know who to send stuff to. The best thing to do is give it to an organization like the Red Cross. They know where the money's needed.
Right.
Exactly.
Fantastic. All right. Yeah, Linda, somebody just put that up. Was that you, Linda? Yeah, it was. Okay.
It's
Linda
me.
did that. Okay. Thank you. She's got it up in the chat there for everybody.
There you
So
go.
you can see it there. Yep. And then we'll put it down in the description of the show as well, so you can find it there. That's a great thing there, for sure. And like you said, not only, I mean, we're, the hurricane going through Florida and just tore. I mean, that, my goodness. Again, that a lot of damage, a lot of things were just ripped apart. That whole bridge, I forget the name of that bridge, ripped apart there and everything too. And then it moved its way across Florida and then up and then back into, was it South Carolina, right? But it was like a category 1 when it moved into South Carolina. So, wow.
But one thing we know for sure is the storms are getting bigger in magnitude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's a category 4 getting ready to slam into Mexico right now. It's not just here.
Right. Yeah. Not just Nova Scotia or America or, North America or now South America. Yeah. Yes, definitely. So for those of you guys watching, again, we were talking a little bit about Fiona, the aftermath of Fiona, just checking in with our friends like Laird and Dale and Tom and everybody up there, and Colin, folks up in Nova Scotia area, and talking to them about, how they're doing and everything. We know PEI got hit really hard in Cape Breton and all that. So we've got a message sent out to Scott Barlow, and also to Ian Spooner. Ian came on with us prior, and Laird, I guess, came on with us prior as the storm was actually getting ready to make landfall. So they went in. Tony Sampson checked in with us too to kind of let us know how things were going. We do have some other things we're going to talk about tonight as well. We got a little bit of drone footage we're going to look at, and kind of take a little in-depth look at some of the pictures and stuff we have. We're speculating, Laird, as to what's going on the island. So we don't expect you to chime in on that or anything like that. So we're just.
Well,
You're welcome to stick around, but we are going to jump right into speculating.
We're actually just getting ready to have supper. So.
Okay, sounds
okay.
I'm telling you, they found the Ark of the Covenant. They opened it because that's why all the weather's coming here.
Yeah, see, that's the Ark of the
No
Covenant.
face melting yet, but it's weather.
I was kind of hoping we could get to see what kind of poker face Laird has. So.
Yeah,
well, I've got a pretty good one, I think. I needed a lot on the island.
Oh yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, you guys have an incredible job, and it's what a treat to be able to do what you're doing, and you bring us all to us, and we appreciate that very much. As we go through the season and everything, we watch the show, and we get to experience it through your eyes, and hearing how your expression. That's what we love about the TV show. We have come to bring you guys all into our living rooms and watch you guys every week. We're really looking forward to season 10. That new finds, new discoveries, new investigations,
new technology.
And new technology. Yes.
Yeah.
And now you've got lot 5 to play with. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's got to be fun for everybody as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's been a different year. It's been an exciting year in a different way. So,
yeah. Well, and that's the thing is that we haven't seen, generally, with the different, the video pictures we get from the boats and things like that, watching you guys put caissons in the ground or whatever. I know over the last couple of years, with COVID and everything was changed since then. But now you have the fact that we don't see a lot happening above ground. So again, that's where we start speculating as to what's happening over there. But it's kind of interesting to note that that lack of activity above ground, at least from what we can see, but we know lot 5, that had to be what a gift to come towards you guys this year. I can only imagine how busy Gary's been. So and you, but
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I had been on Lot 5 over 20 years ago.
Oh wow, that's right, because you were working with
Robert Young, yeah.
Yeah.
So didn't think you'd ever get an opportunity to be back. So that's exciting in itself.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're glad
absolutely.
you are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are very glad. Yep. And if anything more comes from Samuel Ball, that'd be good too. Any of that kind of stuff, because we we love that whole storyline, and we know that you were heavily involved in that as
Yeah,
well.
we got to find out. We got to find out more about Sam. I don't think personally, I'm not done with Sam yet either.
Yeah, I know, right? And that's the thing is too, and that we know that Henry, he's one of our admin for our Facebook group, and now he's been working on a lot of different interesting things as well, looking into some of the history of all the people who've owned these lots, and he's been digging up some really, really good information that I know that someone like Doug and Paul Troutman and all you guys they probably know all this already, but
we have
privateers.
We have a lot of people with a lot of knowledge. One thing that hasn't happened is to have all that knowledge come together in some sort of cohesive fashion. So we're kind of working on that this year as well.
Right. Yeah, we know we talked to Ian last time too a little bit. We were discussing with him some of the things about the, with the Mi'kmaq pottery that was found that you were involved with.
Yeah.
And in trying to work things out with the First Nations people.
Yeah.
To move forward with what they find that's part of their heritage. I mean, so we really hope that that's something that's going to get worked out as well, because I don't know how this affects many of the other areas. We know we saw last season, we saw the certain areas that were blotted out, that were off limits. And you had mentioned when we had you on the show that one time, you had mentioned that what they actually showed on the TV program was just a very small and some of the most insignificant finds that you had, and they kind of let everybody down. Everybody was very disappointed. And it's like, really, that's what they're shutting everything down for? And you said there was a lot more than that.
Yeah, no, exactly. For some reason, they concentrated on the pottery. I'm not exactly sure why.
Yeah.
But that's what they did. Yeah, it's not. We didn't find hundreds and hundreds of artifacts, but there were more and more diverse artifacts there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what you found wasn't all pottery.
No, we only found, let's say, 6 pieces of pottery, three different vessels. Yeah. Yeah. So no, everything else is you get stone flakes and things like that. So,
awesome.
But yeah, no, it's all moving forward.
That's great. Yeah, that is great. And because we talked about that too. And the simple fact that when somebody would come over from another country like this and come over to North America and make landfall there, who are the first people they're going to run into?
Yeah.
So those would be the people that would have a lot of the knowledge and of those first people that arrived here going back. And so it's great to work with them if you can get this worked out. But what would they know, and what can they bring to the table to answer some of these questions that everyone has?
Yeah.
So it's a good thing to be working together with everyone, obviously. So
absolutely.
Well, we certainly hope you luck. What's going on? We're here we are. What's the date today? Is the 2nd. I guess the start of the season is going to be November 15th on a Tuesday night. So we're all looking forward to that. So we got a little over a month, and we're going to be watching the show again. So
I won't.
Well, you guys work, right? You guys keep working quite a ways into December, don't you?
Well, I'll end. I'm hoping like the 24th of December, but that's report writing and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
But Laird, like a lot of the guys, does not watch the show.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
No. And the other thing is, even after December, if there's work to be done, whether we're paid or not, we do it. So.
Do you go down there in the winter, or do you do it from home? Your work?
I do it from home for the most part. There's some added technology this year, which means I might be working on the island a little bit more.
Cool.
Interesting.
I do whatever's needed, whatever's
Yeah.
asked of me, I'll do. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's what's neat about the whole team. Actually, everybody does. And we know Steven's been very busy. We've asked him, a couple of times we've thrown a feeler out to Steven, and I know he's working like, I don't know, 7 days a week. I don't know how many hours a day. So
Yeah.
he's been run pretty ragged, but that's a good thing in that sense that, that means there's a lot of things for him to be doing. So that's good. That's what we want to see. We want to see you guys all very busy. So
it's
we can get
definitely
some
not
answers.
9 to 5.
Yeah, that's for sure, especially for Rick and all that too.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks very much for
Great.
coming on tonight. I appreciate it, Laird. We'll let you get to your dinner.
Okay. Take care.
Thanks,
guys.
Laird.
Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. That's cool. We really appreciate him. And like I said, folks, if we see Scott or like I said, we threw the invite out to a few other people. We see them show up. We'll bring them on right away. So that you can hear what they have to say as well. We really appreciate Laird very, very much for coming on. Real quick, I just wanted to show a couple pictures that were of the path. This was where the actual path was of the hurricane as it moved through, and you can see. Let's see. This is the
that one there. Yeah, that one there, Jeff. It shows you the duration of the wind.
Right.
How long it lasted. So those are hours when you had gusts of over 60, well, it's 100 kilometers an hour there. So you had gusts of over 60 miles an hour in those areas for that many hours. It just shows how long.
I'd say we had about 8 hours of it, 8 or 9 at the most.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're showing different places like St. Paul Islands and up around Port Basque, 16 to 22 hours.
That's crazy.
It's
That's hard to imagine.
It is.
It's like the old thing, when you're a kid and you're playing that punch in the shoulder game, right? You can take 1 or 2 punches in the shoulders and, you can get by and it's not going to bother anybody. But you get that punch in the shoulder for 22 hours in a row,
That's gonna hurt.
something's going to give.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. This one here shows the areas in red saw winds near and over 100 kilometers. Wow.
It just shows you how wide
by
the storm.
Fundy Park.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We had a lot of rain. The rain was incredible.
Yeah. 140. So 100 millimeters of rain would be about 4 inches. So you see some places there 146. So you're talking there 179. You're talking 8 to 10 inches of rain in some places.
Wow.
We had 105 millimeters of rain, I believe, here in Amherst in 7 hours.
Yeah. Truro showed 145. So
yeah, and that just adds all that catastrophic flooding.
Yeah, and it had been raining. And it had been raining here the week before, so the ground was already saturated. Now, see, we got off really easy. I'm just outside of St. John there on the lower left, and 86. So
well, you guys had that front come across from the west.
Yeah,
that brought rain.
Yeah,
for a day or two ahead of Fiona.
And that one there shows the weird kind of bend that it took. Yeah. Normally they'll come up, they'll hug the coast, and they'll kind of go out, say, along Lunenburg, Halifax, Beaver Island, and go up, maybe clip the Avalon Peninsula of Newfoundland. The high pressure and the jet stream keeps pushing them out to the right, out to sea.
Yeah, we had that cold front push through.
Yeah, but this one here got caught up between two systems, and it took that hard left right over the Cancel Causeway, Cape Breton, and then drove it up over Newfoundland.
Yep.
That's what made this one a little weird. It actually stalled. It actually stalled, in place, right?
Yep. Wow. Well, we're certainly glad that I mean, you kind of get happy that it didn't hurt one place, but then the other people just took it so hard and they lost their homes and everything. And what a tragedy! It's hard to fathom all that. So, okay, so what I wanted to do also tonight is jump in a little bit with some new drone footage. We have some brand new footage that was just given to us today. The footage was taken yesterday, and it's aerial photography that we've got here that is just fascinating. I'm going to bring some of this up here, and we can go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm going back to the fundraiser for a second. I got two things. Yeah. People are asking me for the website again. It's www.christmasforthekids.ca. And I'm adding stuff onto it. We just added a nice little stand-up ornament as another prize. And I got a book coming in that's signed by I cannot remember her name. Linda knows.
Michelle Tellmeyer.
There you go. She wrote a book about Oak Island.
She did. It's about Sophia Cellars and the cave-in pit.
Yeah, so she's donated a book to us for the fundraiser also. So that's going to be added once I get the book here.
Wow,
But
fantastic.
yeah.
So is that going to be a separate prize now, Dale? So I have to go buy another ticket now? Is that what you're
That's
telling
two
me?
more separate prizes. Yeah.
Okay, so I have to go buy 2 more tickets. See,
Yeah.
I bought my tickets very strategically, right? I bought 14 tickets.
And I'll get Linda to add the website on there into
Yep,
the chat.
I think she's doing it right now. She looks like she's typing, so she's
I
probably
am, but
Yeah.
I'm doing it on my phone, so it's pokey.
Uh-oh, yep.
Got it.
Well, it's neat. I'm starting to get people asking if we can add some more stuff. So we did, and that's 2 more prizes. So that brings up to like maybe 15, I think, closely like that. So
Yeah, and I do believe that one's already in the description down below. We do have that one in there. So it's
Yep.
christmasforthekids.ca. Yep.
It's $5 a chance, and the more chance you have in, the better chance you have to win. But I don't think anybody has any more than about 100 tickets.
Can,
Some people donate.
can I
some
say
money.
something else about that? We have so many members from the United States.
Yep.
The vast majority of our group is from the United States. And it sounds like a ton of money when you say what I did, but it's not anywhere near that
You
in
convert
US
it over.
dollars. Not even close to that in US dollars.
No. What was it? 5,000 US is equal to how much Canadian? 3,500? Something like that? Canadian?
I don't care. I don't care where you grew up. $3,500 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
It is a lot, but I spent that much last year because I ended up getting that hat
Yeah.
on that crazy deal at the end.
Yeah. And all donations, like, I mean, $5, any donate, I say it's 1 ticket for every $5 donated, but that's $5 Canadian. So if
Right.
you're in the States, it's going to be cheaper.
Right.
So it's good. I mean, and it's going to help a lot of kids. And I've had people saying,
Yes, Janet.
Yes.
Yes.
Because as soon as a donation comes in, I usually put the tickets out and put them in the box. There's a huge box behind me here that Sherry's got going, that she's got all the ballots in, and it's growing. She wrote out about 400 ballots yesterday.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Like,
Yeah,
we don't
a lot
like,
of
I
writing.
don't like do them on the computer or anything like that. So we handwrite every single name out on every single ballot, and they get put in
Wow.
the box like last year.
Yeah, and
And
the
then
big
it gets
tub.
rid-
We saw that big tub. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
this time it's a big box that she's
All
got
right.
back there. So
So
Yeah.
still would have been nice to see you write Linda's name down 1,000 times, though.
I know that would have been.
thank God. Well, I'd be tired of it after a while. But we're hoping to get to $30,000. That's our dream goal. We want to
Yeah.
beat last year, and we want to beat Walmart.
There you go. We want you to beat Walmart. There
So
you
we're
go.
just
So,
about at the halfway mark. We got a month and a half left.
yep. All right. Well, we're going to do what we can to help you beat Walmart. So
I'm
that's-
hoping, because last
I
year-
predict that our Canadian Thanksgiving is this upcoming weekend now. So once that goes over, people's thoughts are going to turn towards Christmas.
Yep.
And I think you'll see things take off.
oh my God, Thanksgiving's Monday. Next Monday.
Mhm.
I forgot about that.
yeah. Somebody asked how the paint was on the front of your building, but
The paint stayed perfectly fine.
there you go. You must
It's-
have done a great job then.
They did a really good job. The building's blue with a white trim, and it's got yellow doors. It's yellow goldish doors, and we're putting the Nova Scotia lion on the doors, on both doors in the middle. So it's if you see the 2 doors are 2 glass doors, they're yellow with the doors. We're gonna put the Nova Scotia lion in the middle, so it's gonna look like a flag when it's done. It's gonna look like the Nova Scotia flag,
Nice.
sort of.
Sort of. Yeah. Somebody also mentioned or asked the question. B Davis must have come in a little bit late. We were talking about that. Yeah, the island actually did not take hardly any damage at all.
Yeah, they're
Laird
quite
and
a
them with-
distance from the hurricane altogether.
Yeah, so they had a few trees uprooted that were along the shoreline, but that's about it.
I think I read that the island's winds were up to 70,
Yeah,
and that was the peak wind for the Mahone Bay area.
yeah. So they didn't fare too badly. So that's really good. So we're happy for that. We're still like I said, our prayers are out for the folks up. You said how many people are still without power up in there in PEI? and that?
As of noon today, 22,000 customers.
See, there's still a
And
lot
they
of people that are
and the
suffering.
total number of customers that Maritime Electric has on PEI
Mhm.
is somewhere between 85 and 100,000.
Right.
Well, since last Saturday,
You know,
we went from
That's a big
almost
chunk of those people.
So
from
they've
last
still got
Saturday.
20%.
Last Saturday, we went from 500,000 in Nova Scotia. I'm looking right now, and we've got 25,362 people left without power.
Yep.
Mm.
Wow.
It's a long time to be without power.
It is.
And
I
I
mean,
think-
it really is. You think about that. I mean, your food, your area. I mean, it's just, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
scary.
it was 29,000 at noon today. Yeah, in Nova
Yeah.
Scotia.
And I
Now,
saw
thing
that.
to keep in mind too. I think they said they were sending an additional 7,500 power poles to Nova Scotia.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
but they're making them here. And there's a place just outside of Amherst here that's making them.
Hmm.
But they just called it more military for I know for our area here in Amherst, the military, they just got 100 more military personnel coming in to help clean up.
Wow. Yeah.
Just
And
to move
that's
the
the
trees and get rid of the trees so they can put the
Yeah.
power poles back in the ground.
Exactly.
My neighbor just down the road here has got about 6 big trees down in his yard, and the power lines are still laying in his yard.
Yeah. Well, we know Jeff Babineau had several trees down too, and his property. So, well,
And he's still going to have to get, once he gets the trees cleared, he's still going to have to get someone to put the masts back up on his house.
Yep.
Before they can reconnect them.
Yep.
Try and find an electrician right now.
Try to find a roofer.
Yeah. Yeah. Or a
We were
roofer.
told
Yeah.
at least a month and a half.
Oof. Yeah. Wow. And you know, those are things that we don't think about until it happens to you,
Well,
and then it's all these little things like that all start to see how everything starts to.
Well,
I
even
follow.
the insurance adjuster, you call the insurance company and they say, we're going to get an adjuster to call you back, a claims person to call you back. And I called them on Tuesday and it's Sunday and I still haven't heard from anybody.
Yep.
And I got my claim number and like that. They're saying it's going to take time before they get back to you.
They're just plain overwhelmed. They had
Yeah.
one of the representatives from the National Insurance Board on CBC News, I think it was the other night. And it's like any other catastrophe. They're just overwhelmed. She
Yep.
said,
And
you've got your claim number. Most important thing is call, get your claim number.
Yep.
And once
Then
you
go
get your
from
claim
there.
number, we're not going to lose you.
No.
Right. You're in the system that way.
You're
Yeah.
in the
And they're
system.
saying about $700 million in damage in insurance claims for Nova Scotia.
Oh, yeah, it'd be that much anyway.
Donating generators. I don't know.
Not that I've heard of.
No.
No, they don't do that here.
All right. Well, let's take and jump over
Okay.
to. We're going to take a look at some of this drone footage. Now, like I said, folks, this was aerial photography was given to us, and we really do appreciate it very, very much. And the quality of this is just amazing. It truly is. I mean, it's so clear, and you can see from that picture right there that I've got displayed how clear it truly is. And we're gonna run through some of this. I may stop and start because a lot of it there's maybe not a whole lot to see. There's other than maybe Rick showing up on or something.
It's a beautiful sunny day on Oak Island.
It is a beautiful sunny
It's hard
day.
to believe that's a video.
Yeah, I know, really. And you watch. I'm gonna go ahead and play here, hit
Wow.
play. But you just look at that is just so crystal clear. And there you go. Of course, the war room right there, and then all the utility vehicles that are lined up waiting to be used. Of course, this is on the weekend, so they are not filming at the moment or anything like that, which is a good time to be out there. Yes, I know that people they say, oh well, we want to see everything that's happening on the island, but there's that streak you were talking
There's
about.
that streak I was looking at. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Let's stop the video here for a second. That is pretty interesting. And it looks like we were looking at this earlier, folks. We were speculating as to where this was coming from and what was causing it. And it's way over here. This is clear over. This would be over by lot 1 and 2 area. Is that what this is? This is because we are just rounded the corner here from the causeway.
It's going to be on the other side of Fred Nolan's property, the far edge.
Yeah, that's beyond Fred's property.
Yeah. Fred's property would be back to the right of that some, I think. But yeah, we were speculating on what the source of that could be. Initially, we thought it would be storm runoff, but storm runoff 8 days later, 9 days later, whatever it is, 7 days later. I don't know. It's coming from somewhere.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were underground working and hit into a spring or a cavern, that's sort of gray limestone-ish, colored.
Right.
Or, it could just be there's a spring that's still bubbling from the storm. I don't know. But
yeah, because a lot of, the ground was so saturated, obviously, with all that rain, but it is a very prominent, and it's the coloring of it.
Yeah, and we don't notice any others.
Mm-mm.
Right.
So I don't know what I mean. I'm not a geologist. I wouldn't know, but
We need
it's interesting.
Ian.
What's that, Linda?
We need Dr. Spooner.
Yeah, I know. We need Ian to jump
Yeah.
on it real quick and tell us what that is.
Tell us what that is.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
what
he
even
might.
could
He's still.
cause it.
I told him we'd be on for about an hour, so he could jump. Well, actually, it's almost an hour now, but I told him he could jump in anytime because I know the guys are busy and stuff. So we didn't, for sure, expect to see everybody pop in and talk to us tonight. But
We
said
would
they would if they could. Yeah.
probably get a very firm. I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of any such anomaly.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So here we are coming around the corner here. We're moving up on to lot 5. And again, looking from this, I always say that this is lot 5, and I'm assuming it is because we always saw before, or at least I remember it being that we saw these definite border lines in going through the trees.
Yeah.
And you'll see those here as the aerial footage comes around. You can see the lines here in the woods. You can see one there and one here going through the trees. So I'm assuming that this right here is lot 5. And of course,
I wonder if we can still see the no trespassing signs on the shore.
I think you can. I think, yeah, when
Probably.
he pans around here, I think you can see this. I think that's it right there, actually. But we know that that lot 5, of course, was purchased by Circuitrova, who is, in fact, Oak Island Tours, the guys. Have purchased lot 5. They now own it, and now they are. You know that probably Gary Drayton's been a very busy man working lot 5, and probably Laird as well. Because I think Laird now he has to approve, doesn't he? When Gary gets a hit, doesn't Laird have to get some approval to be able to dig it? How's that? I forgot how that works.
I think the whole island now is covered by some sort of, I guess, miniature no dig zone. But yeah, they would, before they start poking too deeply, they do need permission.
You can see the lines really clearly here.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, right here. That's why I was thinking this is lot 5 because of those 2 lines right there. And you see that sign? There's that sign right down there. It says, "Keep out, no trespass."
Karen told us that almost immediately they had chainsaws and chippers running, and they brought that big chipper over across the causeway, and it went down to lot 5 to chip up all that stuff. But now that we've had this storm, there's a whole lot of stuff down again, especially on lot 5.
Right.
It'd be a lot of branches down for sure.
Yep.
Right.
You can see Karen's place back over here in the top of the video in the middle there. We were all very concerned because I mean she's right at the beach right there, and with the fifth wheel and the Tom Nolan's old museum, and of course her boathouse and everything. So man, we were really hoping and praying that Karen would be okay for sure there, and we really do appreciate Karen. And by the way, for those of you who may not know, Karen Publicover is she is the person who owns the Facebook page Oak Island from the Other Side of the Causeway. So you can go check that out. She has a lot of followers there. She puts up makes a lot of beautiful stuff. And she goes out, she went out and got a bunch of sea glass. This hurricane actually helped her out with her filling her stores of sea glass. And of course, here's Tom Nolan's property in the top end of the swamp where it comes back over onto the north side. And you can see that they've drained the swamp. They have drained the swamp. Now, we knew that they talked a little bit about it last year. You don't see me in the boat. Oh, that's Colin. I don't know. Is that your boat over there, Colin? We did see a boat, and we thought, there's a boat later on in the footage. We were wondering if it was you. It must have been taken earlier in the day. Not sure. But anyway, we can see here we are coming around from the edge of Nolan's property, which is a fantastic piece of land. This right here.
He's got some privacy.
Oh my goodness! It looks like he's got a part of his dock pulled out here.
Yeah, probably from the storm.
Yep, pulled it back from the storm. And I think right up in this area here is where the what they call the mound, the serpent mound, which is actually just a spoils pile. Was that right in that area, or was that over
or the pile of rocks, as I referred to it as?
Yes, yeah, exactly. And there's an excavator right in there working too, right there.
Yep.
in that corner. So we'll see what he's got. And I think that's off of Nolan's property there. Okay, so that was our first one. And then we got this in pieces, bits and pieces from our friend. So let me bring up the second one here. So, but I can you guys believe that? That's so clear that that footage is amazing.
Yeah, the resolution in those pictures is great.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to bring up the second one here. Sorry, folks.
No, go ahead.
Thought I had it better prepared. Okay, so here we go.
I wonder what Laird was having for supper.
I know, right?
They had lobster at Superstore for $8 each today.
Oh, wow.
Well, then we're coming to your house.
By all means, we gotta fix a roof.
Yeah. I never remembered this. Did they do a lot of clearing here? I mean, I don't remember this being so sparse of trees, this whole side of the, this is like part of where we're coming around where Boulderless Beach. But I don't remember it being that cleared.
Yeah.
You're talking Smith's Cove?
No,
that field.
Over here.
Oh, yeah,
This
no, that
area
field.
here.
That was, well, when Henry and I were on Tony's tour this summer, it was basically just scrub brush. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I know it kind of happened over the last couple of years, but I don't remember.
I don't think they've taken out a ton of trees or anything.
I don't
recently.
think so.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, here we are coming around to Smith's Cove, of course, and we are looking at the wash plant all set up there, ready to go. And they got a couple of totes that are there with water. We know they use an awful lot of water for the wash plant. And that's what this unit right up here is, a big tank it's a semi-trailer tank of, whatever they can, probably
got
use
3 or 4 big holding tanks up there in different locations right now.
Yeah, they do actually. I know the guys that are working over, we're going to come around and we're going to see, and I can speed this up. We don't need to sit and some of it is.
Yeah, I don't think they're using the wash plant yet, though.
No, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. They're well prepared, and we know that they have been pulling spoils out of the shaft there at the Women's Memorial. They've been pulling spoils out and trucking them.
Choice Drilling's got a truck parked down there, I think, by the wash plant, but it doesn't look like anything's been put through it.
No. No, it looks like it's still just ready and waiting to go. And of course, this being Isaac's Point coming around here. And they've got that area cordoned up. Now, we know that they dug a big old hole over here just on the uplands of Smith's Cove at one point, and that's been filled back in. We know that there was the muon technology was also, they had a sensor down in this area, and they had one over on the other side on South Shore as well. And then they had what we believe is like a 5 that were put down in the Money Pit area. And we're going to come around. We can see that here in just a moment as well.
How clear that resolution is, eh? If there was any old rock wharves or anything there, you'd see them.
You can absolutely see them down in the water for sure.
Yeah.
You can still see the old copper dam. And this is where all that rock was brought in and replaced all the way here along Isaac's Point to protect it. This whole section here, all the way from South Shore.
Tony was telling us when we were on Tony's tour that's very susceptible to shore erosion, that whole point.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. And
and Tom Nolan has brought in a ton this year to put all across the front of his lots as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we are panning around, of course, to the South Shore and looking at the Money Pit area. And we got some close-ups we'll show too of the Money Pit. We're gonna speculate a little bit, or I will anyway. I don't know.
I'll help you.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, a couple aerial shots here, and then we'll come around. I wanted to show the next one for sure because it is it takes a look a little bit closer at the Money Pit area, and then we get a look at obviously looking at the swamp. And now, and we were looking at the pumps that are set up, and the pumps that are in the swamp area over here. There's one of them that's, I mean, it's massive. It truly is. And we know in the past that they have talked about the fact that they use the water. They wanted to fill it up. This was last season. They want to fill it up, let it fill back in on its own so that they could use that water for the wash plant. Now they've drained it but we don't see any real activity happening over there. And nor has, I don't believe Colin has either. Colin Jamieson is out in the chat right now. He's still here hanging around.
Yep.
But we know that Colin has been by there and has taken some pictures with his from the boat, but we haven't seen really anything to speak of as far as the what they're doing there.
No, and when you've got a couple of photos there, you're going to zoom in on it a bit too. That you can see that.
Yep.
There's not even a tire track in the swamp. There's not a footprint, nothing. So
Right.
they've drained the swamp for some other reason, in my opinion.
Right. Yep. Okay, here's I'm going to bring this one up here real quick, and we'll kind of talk about this a little bit. And then I've got some stills that we can zoom in. Unfortunately, with the video here, I can't really zoom in on this, so we'll talk about this for a moment.
Maybe they're drain the swamp to make their beer.
That swamp beer, I'm telling you, that's it's
Maybe.
Oak Island
First thing-
swamp ale.
The first thing I noticed on this video is the shaft at the woman's memorial is not
Yep.
covered.
Yeah,
Yep, no big yellow cover on it.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, and that the crane has been going right down in there, and that's what we saw from the video that Colin shared with us.
Jeff, is there a way to zoom in on that a bit?
I can't on this one. I have to wait
Okay.
till I bring on the picture. As soon as I bring the picture up, we can zoom
Okay.
in on that.
You've got some stills there we can zoom in. You can zoom in on.
Perfect.
See, there's water tanks all over the place.
I'm going to step away just for a moment. If you guys would, I'm going to let this run. Got a couple of
Yep.
moments here. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. So he's spinning back. Okay, he's looking back over to the other side of the island now. But when he comes back over the money pit,
So Jeff's gone. Can we talk about him?
We can talk about him quick.
but look at the equipment they've got stockpiled.
It's incredible.
There's generators up there. What I would like to know is whether you see the little blue strip there between the two canisters or between the two containers. Those
Yes.
are Dumas containers.
Yep.
Right.
So what's the blue strip hiding? And I've seen one angle from one shot that looks like to me could be shotcrete mixer. There's some big piece of equipment in there, but I really couldn't make it out what it is. And there are pipes running out of it, and there's power cables going out the back too. So, I mean, Dumas is mining, right? That's what they do.
Yeah, my friend's still there and he won't talk to me.
Is that because he's still there? He just doesn't want to
Yeah.
talk to you.
No, it could be either one.
We did ask Dumas Mining to come on our podcast,
And they said no.
they said no. They were real hesitant with their NDA to not put anybody in a position of saying something they shouldn't.
Now look at the left-hand side of the money pit as we're looking at it right now. That's a full set of washroom, shower, or whatever facilities they've got set up there. Because you can see the water storage tank right behind it.
Right.
And
They
then
moved it dirty underground.
yeah, right. So they've got a full system set up. Remember we saw them haul those units over in the spring,
Yes.
right? And down below it, of course, would be your, it's probably a 1,500 or 2,000 gallon holding tank for all their, so that they don't have any gray water or any waste of any nature going anywhere. It's just going to drain downhill, right? Water runs downhill.
I'm reading a post here. It says about 5 years ago, Rick gave a family a private tour in his vehicle. During that tour, he spoke a bunch about the tunnel entrance in front of the women's garden.
Yeah, and that searcher shaft has been there for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 5 years. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, and we know that they went in there this year. They went in and they actually did some work there, and they redid that entire entrance without destroying the women's memorial. They kind of are, utilizing that area, but they went in there and they put a whole new base around it. They've removed the wood that was in there and they've restructured that entire entrance. Now we don't know how far down they went with it. But we also know that, see this wood pile right here, and we'll talk about this a little bit more in a minute, but this wood pile right here has been depleting slowly but surely, which means they're using that wood down there and they've been taking it over. What's that?
Just that they're using it.
Yeah,
at a
well,
pretty
yeah.
good clip right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
and
using
we
it
don't.
down-
They're using it, and we don't see any structures going up on their land. So
right.
It's going
it's
down.
not- if it's not above, it's below. But there's the swamp now. It's totally drained.
When was this film, Jeff?
Yesterday.
Okay.
See, this is what I was talking about here with the whole swamp area. You can see that it has been drained, but we don't see any activity. See we see the road that they uncovered last season, or actually 2 seasons ago now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
also,
2 seasons.
yeah, and we also know that they worked their way all the way up all the way up here towards the buildings on Nolan's property up here. So yeah, and Henry said, it's drained out. It really is. So
Yeah. And there's nothing been dug, nothing's disturbed.
right.
And nobody's
So
around.
nobody's
Yeah.
around. So
No one has worked in that swamp.
no. The sole purpose is to remove the water from the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
When we get to the swamp pictures, I'll give you my speculation. But
All right. But that's pretty interesting. Now, Colin did mention that when he was taking his pictures, and I do have one, that there is a picture of there was somebody up here that was right up in this area here that was actually walking around.
He
up
was
here.
in grass. He was in a grassy area.
Yeah.
You can see him in one of the stills.
Yeah, in one of the still pictures right up in here somewhere. But so it looked like he was holding something. I don't know if it was a metal detector, but he was definitely doing something up there. But again, it was just that one person. But you can see these pumps right here. And again, well, like I said, we'll get to the other stuff here. I want to bring up the last video real quick.
yeah, and Colin's post, he did say, and I just see you made a comment there now too, that he did see them making some sort of a sweeping motion.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it was.
It didn't look like a metal detector to me, but he said they were looked like they were moving something.
What was the thing that Alex and David used?
Oh, what was that?
Yeah, it was like a ground penetrating radar type thing.
Yeah, it was a GPR thing of some kind. And might that not be something similar?
Could be.
Because Gary's there. If Gary's there, he's out there metal detecting.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so one thing I did want to show here too, when we got these, I want to go back to the other. I thought it was on the next one, but it's actually on the tail end of this other video. I want to show this real quick. Let me bring this back up, folks. Bear with me just a moment here while I get this over and see where we are. Okay. Yes, here it is here. Okay. There is another bit going on that we were kind of talking about a little bit, and we were wondering exactly what is happening over here. Okay, so now we've passed by this swamp. We're moving our way back to the west. And I'm going to draw your attention to this area right up here in the upper left corner. And as we play, if it'll play for me, there we go. Now, and here's what we were talking about draining the swamp. You can see the hose runs all the way along the road here and is draining into this pit right here. We know they are not allowed to drain the swamp into the ocean. That's a no-no. So they have to put it.
They can't just drain it out any place they want on the island either. It has to be an approved place.
Thank you.
By the environmental.
It has to go to one of those. Yeah, it has to go to one of those holding ponds. Yeah.
Right. And here's the other thing too that I noticed on this. You see this here? And I don't know if you can see that very well, but this right here, I can see it. That's a pretty big picture. It looks like the hose runs across the road and all the way out through here. How far away did they have to? I thought they were just using this for their holding pond.
I think they have more than one pond.
Okay, maybe that's the case.
Yeah, there were 3.
Yeah, because I've heard them make reference to the holding ponds in the past.
Yeah,
I know it's hard to see on the screen up here, but on my screen I can see this line right here. It runs all the way along. It's one of the hoses running all the way through.
So I mean, they're moving tons of water.
Yeah,
right.
And they're not doing it for fun.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, here's the area that I wanted to kind of zoom in on I can't really zoom in on the video here, but we get a good look at it. This aerial photography was done very well, and we got very clear pictures here. So this is really cool. All right. If you remember some time ago, Karen Publicover, Oak Island from the other side of the causeway, shared some pictures with us of what machinery was going across. She always does. Shares pictures of machinery going across the causeway. One of those was a large yellow piece of equipment that had like a cone, a big barrel cone on top of it. That is this unit right here that has been brought out. There's an equipment truck. There's that. There's actually a smaller excavator is here working. And then you got the long reach excavator is also here working. Now, this right here, in my opinion, this is a heavy duty chipper, wood grinder.
That's what it is. That's what it is. They feed them from
Yeah,
the
it
top.
definitely is. That's
feed
the
them from the
grinder
top.
that came across the causeway.
Right.
So they
Now, I'm
cleared the
gonna stop this
land.
for a second. Yeah.
They
Go
cleared the
ahead.
land. They ground up whatever surplus or excess vegetation that they couldn't use elsewhere. And now look at the piles of dirt.
Yeah. So they got a lot of logs over here piled up,
Mhm.
and they got a lot of wood type brush debris here piled up and here. And then they've got a lot of what looks like dirt right here
And a long reach excavator.
and a long reach excavator.
Well, it goes down. What do they go down? 30, 40 feet, something like that?
50. That one goes 50 if I remember
50.
correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like they're making compost.
Maybe they are.
Maybe they are. Maybe that's what it's all about. I don't know.
Maybe they're going to make the island look pretty afterwards. I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm assuming this is not sawdust. from the
No.
wood
That
chipper.
is not sawdust.
It looks like the stuff that comes from wood chipping.
I
I
don't
wish it
know.
was clear. I wish you could see closer.
I know. Unfortunately, I might be able to.
Do we have a still of that?
I don't think so. I'll look and see. I don't think we do. I can
It
make.
looks like they're taking all the broken trees and everything and put them and just mulching them all
Yeah.
there.
See, this is all. That's what this is. Broken
Yeah.
trees and wood debris and brush. That's what
They
all this.
may, they may just be doing that. I mean, there's no place to put stuff.
What
don't
would you
think
need?
this is-
You wouldn't need a long reach excavator for that.
No.
Unless you're reaching into the piles for stuff, but
They just take a normal excavator with a grabber.
See,
Yeah.
here's the regular
There's your-
excavator sitting
There's
right
your
there.
excavator with a claw right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's picking up this debris and it's putting it into the wood chipper. And the wood chipper is spouting something. It looks like it is spouting it out that end.
Yeah.
Oops, that's the end of that one. So,
they probably just had so much they had
So
to
what
get
would
rid
you-
of that they decided to do it that way.
So what would you guys guess that to be? Lot 24, 25, 26? Somewhere's in that range?
yeah, because it's just on the other side of the swamp. And let me see. Hang on, I'll bring up a map here. We'll have a look at it.
I'd have guessed maybe further than that.
You think so? I'm sorry. I should have had this ready. I'll fire it up and ready to go. I
Oh.
know I'm slacking on my job. I know. It's that,
What do you get the big bucks for?
I know, right?
Right.
Wait, I just saw it a moment ago and now it's gone. Okay. Where did I?
Which then leads to the question, why do you even need to clear that area?
Yeah.
Janet thinks maybe that's all stuff from lot 5. That they've
Possible.
hauled all those trees and all that brush and all that stuff up there rather than just piling it up on lot 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that'd have to be an awful big hole because you've seen the logs are piled up there too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which means they would have had to cut down trees, which is going to leave a pretty gaping hole. And
Right.
where that they took those pictures,
Right.
right? You'd see that pretty gaping hole if they cut that many trees down.
I would say that's sitting right about where this ND is right here, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm thinking
This is the
29
swamp.
or 30.
Yeah. So it's 29, 30-ish right in this area here, which was that was part of Ball's property. Didn't he own
Lot
those
30, yep. 30, 31, 32 were Samuel Ball's.
Right. Because he had that funny 32 that came right up to the swamp.
Yep.
They included the swamp, which is the one he got for free.
Right.
So interesting. Hard to say what they got going on there, but it's certainly interesting nonetheless. I'm gonna see.
We'll
if I
find
can-
out in season 10.
Yeah, right.
So
Isn't that what they always tell us?
Yeah. It doesn't wind up on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Gotta bring this back up. Let's see. Around here, there we go. All right, so and then we'll wrap this up, and we'll look at here. We go back to the looking at that area again, and again he's circling around here, getting a better look. But it's got the wood chipper, a lot of stuff to grind up. This could be the wood chippings.
It could be, but
I don't know. It looked to me like it was dirt, but it does look like the wood chipper is facing this way, right into it.
That's it. They're clearing it out to make Rick and Marty's
Well,
summer.
the wood chipper would expel things from the opposite end, wouldn't it?
Oh, would it?
I mean, they could have moved that around 16 million times too. So
right, exactly.
So do you think maybe they're clearing it out to make Rick and Marty a summer home there?
Could be, with a big pool and everything.
Somewhere they can stay on the island instead of renting homes.
Yep.
I don't know. They've got an awful lot of equipment in there just to make
You
sawdust.
never know.
That's pretty expensive sawdust.
Yeah. So that's going to open up some speculation there as to maybe it could simply be that's just a clearing operation. But why would they use the big long reach excavator for that? I just doesn't. Yeah.
Could have been the only equipment they could have got. I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe it was already on the island.
Yep.
Or maybe they had to rent it for something else and use it for that.
I mean, as long as we're speculating.
That's all we can do, right? There's another look at the swamp again, all drained out. Well, except for a little bit right here on the beginning, or at the right on the south edge, right there.
So if we take for a second that might be say lot 30, 31, 30 in that range, right?
Yep.
And they bought lot 5, it wouldn't make sense to haul all that stuff from lot 5 3/4 of the way across the island.
Right.
It's a long ways.
It is.
If you were going to chip it and mulch it, you'd do it right there on the road.
Right. And what would they need all that
the island? Yeah.
I mean, why would they?
You wouldn't haul it you wouldn't haul it to the other end of the island.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't, but
you and I wouldn't, but
I wouldn't. I'm not there, so.
Stupid question. Where does that correlate with Zena's map?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I have
curious.
I'll bring that up here in a moment, and we'll have a look at it and see. Then we'll
see if it's close to anything that she's got marked on there.
Yeah. What a great piece of property. I mean, it's kind of next to the
hatch, whatever, is supposed to be around lots 6, 7, 8, somewhere in that range, right?
Tom must get some friggin' nice views at night of stars and shooting stars and meteor showers and
yeah.
So we were thinking this was Colin's boat out here, but I think that's Tony Sampson's actually. Looks like one of his pontoon boats out there going around the island.
I want to camp in Tom's backyard.
Is that the headstone right there? Right behind the shed?
I don't know.
It's very close to the shed.
I think that's the headstone. Wow. What a beautiful piece of property. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll have to find out what they're doing over there. And it might just be, that they had all this debris and they're just trying to get rid of it.
Compare it to Zena's map, see if it says anything.
All right, we'll have to have a look. All right, so I'm going to bring up a couple stills that we've got here real quick. Let me grab those.
I sent you kind of a shaky screenshot too.
Oh. Let's see, what did you send me here? Oops. Where did it go?
It's in the 5-way.
Yeah, I just had it and it just disappeared. There it is.
No.
Lots of room for your trailer in Tom's backyard, Jeff.
Yes, I know, right?
And for those of you that don't know, the 5-way is a 5-way chat that we have set up with the admins of the group.
Yeah, the 5-way. Yeah, it's not a.
Don't read anything into it.
Yeah, it's not anything more exciting than that. It's Tom and Henry and Jeff and me and Jan.
Yep.
And they talk about all yous.
And we do,
Constantly.
especially Dale.
Oh, yeah, me. I'm a pest. Oh, my God. I can't stop sneezing.
Yep. So, okay. So let me grab those still photos and we'll take a look at those real quick. And then we'll start to wrap things up here. But, I've got a couple of, let's see here.
No donation yet, Tom, for the 2 extra prizes. No donation yet for your 2 extra prizes.
Oh, it's coming, buddy. It's coming.
All right.
Tom, did you already talk about this right here?
We talked about it pre-show. I think did we talk about it during the show? Somebody remind me.
No, not as far as I know, but I stepped away for a moment. I didn't know if you.
So you can see over at the right hand side where they're pumping that hose that comes from the brown bin, or the settling tank, as I call it, has a hose running all the way from there, coming out of the shaft at the Women's Memorial. So to me, they're pumping they're pumping water all the way across the yard. You'll see where the water pipe stops. It's near where it would hook up to or dump into this settling bin, right?
Here. Yep.
And then at the back of the settling bin, you'll see a concrete slab, which is directly where you would drain it from. And that would stop the ground from eroding. So my question is, they're not. My suspicion is they're not just draining water from that shaft. They need to pump it in there like they did previously.
No point in it going into that settling bin.
Right. So put it in the settling bin, let the water run off the top, and see what's in the bottom.
Right.
So that they're looking for something. If that's what they're doing, then they're looking for something to see what they're pumping out.
Right.
Can you go into that shaft to see what they're? They took the top off.
There is another picture that I have, a couple more here that are a little bit better, but I wanted to show those 3 levels. So you got the 3 levels in this thing.
Right. And you can definitely, when you zoom in on it, you can see that hose.
Yeah. There's another picture I'll show here. Let me see if I can get one of the other ones here.
That tells me they're interested to see what they're pumping out of the bottom of that.
This one's a little bit more clear, but you can see this hose running right here. Here's a pumps right here. And this line runs all the way across here, across in front of Gerhardt's water truck, and then right up to here.
And you notice all that gray backfill that we see around the Women's Memorial, very similar to a color we saw floating along the shoreline.
Yes, I know. See, that's what made me wonder. Where's that? Is that coming out from what they're doing? And you had so much water, I don't know. Is it pushing it out through?
I don't know. That's why I wonder why. That's why I think they're draining the swamp. They think the swamp might be a possible water source coming into whatever's down there. And I think there was always speculation at one time that there was a tunnel coming from the swamp area.
Yes.
And that the swamp was man-made in order to hide it.
Right.
2 hoses in that area, and one is coming from Billy Gerhardt's yellow water tanker that's parked right there, and it goes right around to Choice Drilling because they need water.
Yes, you can.
The other one crosses it and goes down to that holding tank.
Right. Here's Gerhardt's truck, and here's the hose that's coming out of it, going right to Choice Drilling's sonic drill rig. That's the one
which they need water to make the drill work, right? So
exactly. And then this one here, you see this other line laying across here, was pumping water out of the Women's Memorial, which is here.
Okay. Jeez, they never clean that up. You can see a ladder in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They really clean that up.
Yeah, they have definitely cleaned this. All the wood was removed, and they rebuilt this entire entrance. Now this is where the people go. You can see the ladder right there. Is where the guys go, and here's ventilation, pumping clean air down there for them. And then the hammer grab has been going down right here. That's it right there. The hammer grab has been going down in there and getting scoopfuls, and then dropping it into the back of a dump.
That hammer grab looks so tiny.
That yellow that yellow pipe you see is ventilation.
Yep.
And then if you look and to give you an idea how much I think power they have down in that hole, if you go over to the back of the generators, you see the white line running behind.
Yep.
That goes to the 2 big generators.
Yep.
Okay. And it goes right down the hole.
Yep.
You can follow it all the way along. There's the 2 Dumas containers. So it comes out the other side. You can follow it all the way over. And it goes down the hole. So they're running some significant, something that draws some significant power down that hole.
Yeah, I think one of them. Honestly, I think we got power generation going on here, and I think we also have an air compressor, an industrial size air compressor going on as well. And I believe that's where your shotcrete comes in. Making of the shotcrete is what this air compressor is for. That's my speculation on that. I don't know that for a fact. Yeah. That's my speculation that the compressor is being used for the shotcrete.
I would love to know what's under that blue tarp.
I know,
between the
right?
2 Dumas containers. There's a piece of equipment in there. I saw an angled shot of it one time, but I couldn't tell what it was.
I still want to know remember that drill? Now that drill, remember that hydraulic drill that you and Henry had taken a picture of? That was sitting over, and I believe that was sitting over here in this area, is staged waiting, and now it's disappeared.
Yeah. Well, if you could get the camera,
leave the island.
if you get directly over that hole and look down about 190 feet, you probably see it.
Yeah, it's right down there. Can you see it down there? Yeah.
Mm.
It's right down there. Cause I think that's
Yeah,
what
I mean that's quite a hole they've got there.
I think they went and it went down in that hole, and that's what they're using it for. They're using it for drilling.
Yep.
So, but this is really interesting. So you know that every little piece of anything that's coming out of that shaft while they're down there working is being inspected. Every bit of it. All the spoils are going to run through the wash plant. And I'm sure Gary's he probably already has metal detected it as it comes out of there. And also the water that they're pulling out and pumping out of there is also being checked. Every bit of that.
Henry says it looks like it might be sludge
Yep.
too, which would be what they need to pump out of the hole, right? So
right. Yep. And this pile of wood is getting smaller and smaller. So they're big.
Janet says, "Are you sure the yellow cover is gone?" I think Jan, the only reason that yellow cover is gone is because they need access to the hole right now.
Well,
Right.
I think that yellow cover is going to go back on.
I think that's the yellow cover right there.
That's the yellow cover.
Yeah,
It's not
because
on.
if they were going to leave that yellow cover off, that thing would have to be totally railed and secured all the way around. It would be a mine entrance, right? So if it's only off temporarily for them to work, then they put the cover back on and they can leave.
Right. Exactly right. And here's a truck that's pumping. There's a tank in the back of this truck right here. You can see this tank with a hose running out of it.
Hose runs right to it. Yep.
Now, my suspicion is that's part of the water that's being used for the shotcrete.
Wouldn't be surprised.
There's
no other reason to pump water in the hole, right? Because you're trying to pump it out.
Exactly.
I think last year I said Marty and Rick want to walk in to get the treasure.
10X is open. Yes. I don't know exactly who that was that said that. Let me see if I can pop over here. That was Michelle. Yes, Michelle, 10X is right there and it's wide open. They've actually removed some of the metal and stuff out of there again and laid it off to the side. It used to have what I called like that ladder. It looked like a ladder or something sticking out.
Yeah, it was a ladder. Yeah, it was a ladder. Yeah.
And that has been removed. And that was actually laying at one point. It was laying over here on the ground. I don't see it now. But yeah, 10X is wide open right now. And of course, Dan's old pump or drill truck.
Yep.
Yeah. What he worked with years ago, right there, that bad boy right there. And then what the guys are working with nowadays. What a difference, eh? But yeah, fantastic pictures. We just really appreciate this so very much. We get a good look at what's going on over there. And again, you just looking here, the high res pictures, these are really nice. But again, here's that hose dumping, and then whatever water comes out of here, they drain it off into this pit here. And then they get to go through these spoils and see what's in there and what they may have found. And of course, the bathrooms and all that kind of stuff, the showers they got set up over here. That's what all this is, all the showers and everything for the guys when they're coming up out of that mine.
Henry just made a good point. Henry made a good point. He said maybe the horizontal drill is going to end up at lots 30 and 31.
Wow.
If that's where they're doing the clearing.
Wouldn't that be something, huh? Mm-hmm. And again, we're assuming again that these 5, you see these here, looks like the top of a piece of dice, a number 5. You got these laid out here. We're made the target. This is C1 right here. You see this gray piece right here. That's C1. And of course, AB13 was drilled right up here. So these are what we're assuming was the 5 of the many muon sensors that they put in over the winter months and had scanning went all throughout the winter months last year. So we are assuming that's what that is, and that they were able to identify a void that we saw on the promo. If you remember the promo, we saw that void show up, and they found a structure or wood down there that looks like some sort of a structure. So is that, and and I was trying to figure out exactly where it looks like they're drilling right here. So where do you think they're drilling? Now, AB13 was over here, right in front of the Women's Memorial. That was AB13. So if AB13, and that was clear off that, this has to be over off the edge of where the chapel shaft was, wouldn't it?
I was thinking it might be the corner of the head and shaft.
The head and shaft. I'm sorry. Yes, the head and shaft. That's what I meant to say. Yes. Yep. And I did have another picture. Let's see.
Didn't I see Deidre on there? Well, yeah, Deidre, you're on there. Where is that drill rig? You can tell.
Yeah,
us.
where do you? Yeah, Deidre.
Deidre, you're the graph expert. Where is it?
So, okay, remembering, like I said, that this would be AB 13, and the grid does face north, south, east, and west, and north is this way up toward the top of the screen here. You got swamp. I mean, the Smith's Cove is off to the right, off this way over here, and this would be north here. Maybe they're drilling air holes or ducts. Could be. That could be. Certainly wouldn't rule that out. Oh crap! I have to bust out my maps. But that's and it brings it up. What could that? Oh, here's another look at that. Yeah, that's streaming.
And somebody, I'm not sure who now, said they thought it might be like Kat said it might be some gray clay looking stuff that washed off to shore. And we talked about that earlier too. And maybe it is, but it just seemed funny to me that it's only in one place.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see.
And a week after it rained.
Yeah. Let's see here. I think I've got.
It can't be something. It can't be something they're pumping because they're not allowed to pump anything down to the ocean.
Exactly.
Right. So it has to be naturally occurring.
Yep. Yeah, they are not allowed to be pumping anything into the ocean. Here we go. Let's see this one here. Oh, nope, that's not a good look at it. Sorry. Hang on. I'm trying to find one of Deidre's map.
And Colin had a good point too. The compressor could be used for a lifting system as well. You put it down the hole, you drive the forced air in there and it dries the water and everything else up, right?
Yep.
Kind of like a jet pump, really.
Yep. Let's see. All right, here. I got this picture here. Okay, so AB 13 is right here. It was right in between here. So AB 13 is right here. That's right in front of the Women's Memorial. Now remember that this thing is tilted. If you look at when you're looking down, I couldn't find the one that I had. Amy made one for me and I can't find it. But anyway, so you have they have to be, if it's straight south, that hole has to be punched in around here where they're right now. And here's this green box right here where you see OC1. This is the head and shaft right here. So it has to be right over here that they're popping that hole in there. All the 10-foot caissons. These are the bigger ones that they put in here, but we know the 10-foot were all put around C1. So it has to be over here somewhere that they punched that hole. And that one that they said that what was the one that they said it was
M16.25.
M16.25. Thank you. Now 16 is way over here. So that's right way down here. M16.25 is way over here, way off of where they've drilled before. Now, is that the one that they put the camera down and found this metal structure? Is that where they're tunneling to?
It could be months before we know.
It could be months.
It could be season 11.
Season 11, yeah. And that's the thing that
tune in February.
That's the thing that gets me about the
Darlene,
go ahead.
Darlene had a good point. She said, and we're talking about that gray streak in the water. She said, more importantly, are the crew aware that there's that trail in the water?
I don't know. Ian,
how long has it been there?
Ian, where's Ian? We need Ian to log in here so we can tell him about that. So say M16.25 element OP 25.50. What? So that endpoints are 16.25 being way, way, way down over here where they have not worked before. And we don't know. And again, that wood structure that we saw them go down, and that was showing 16.25, and it was how many meters? Do we remember how many meters it was?
30? I thought they said 31 and a half meters.
Yes.
Yeah. And the head and shaft was 93 feet.
Yep.
There you go.
Now, that wood structure that we saw, that will probably be on the season finale of season 10.
Or 11.
Yeah.
The
promo for season 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, the promo for season 11. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, hopefully they'll and again I'm gonna show this one here too. This was another good one that I had. This was a picture I took a long time ago. There's 13, AB 13. Here's your women's memorial, is right about where the 13 is. And that M 16.25 was way down here. I think they're actually, that hole you see Choice drilling doing in that picture is got to be right about in here somewhere.
You think it's straight down from?
I was thinking it was. I could be wrong. Let me see. Let's take another look here. Okay, so here's AB 13 would be right about here, right about there, and it looks like it's in figuring north is this way.
Well, and just go where the C1 is too. Come off of C1.
Yeah, and C1 is right there.
So it's pretty straight out there. Yeah.
So I would say it's almost straight south of where AB 13 was. Because north being this way.
Yeah.
So straight south about what, 30 feet? So what were these? Were these supposed to be 5 feet or 10 feet? I don't remember. Yeah, I forgot. And again, that's Deidre will know. But anyway, so I'm thinking if it's about 30 feet.
Well, if that's C1, it has to be 5, doesn't it?
Oh,
because
yeah.
C1 wasn't a 10-foot caisson.
Right. Okay, so about 5 foot. Yep. Okay. So that would put that drill right about in here. And again, this is an area where they haven't really messed around. 5 feet, Deidre says. Yeah. Thank you. So they have to be work that they have to punch that hole. So they're working in areas where they haven't been before, which is the point I'm trying to make there, is that, this is all kind of our, areas where they haven't really done a lot of drilling. Now we see that they, and again, we'll go back to that other picture. Find it. There we go. I mean, we know that they've done some stuff over here. Obviously there's and again, assuming that there was the muon sensor down there and over here. And then I think most of their drilling was over this way, over here. Yeah. There's C1. So I don't know. We'll find out. But I think they're
find out soon enough. Yep.
Yeah. I think the muon technology found a void. I think they punched a hole into it. They put a camera down in it, and they said they cameraed like every single one anyway, even though we don't always see that on the show. So I think they're tunneling towards that void right now. I can't wait to see what they come up with, but that's what, I think that's what they're obviously tunneling underneath there. It's pretty evident. There's no other work going on above ground except for lot 5 and over there where the wood chipper is. And then maybe whatever they're starting to do in the swamp, why they drained it, but we don't see any activity anywhere else. And of course, lot 5 covered in the canopy of trees, we can't see over there. So all the activity, all the cars, all the people that are there have to be, the majority of them are working right here in this area.
And Dumas Mining wouldn't be sitting around there for over 3 months if they weren't digging a hole.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So we know that they're drilling. We know that they're, making their way underground somewhere. And I think it's to the void that they found with the muon technology. And we're going to find out what that's all about in season 10. So I'm looking forward to it. You guys looking forward to it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And all the spoils. Yeah, you don't care, huh, Dale? It's fun to speculate. It's fun to look at these.
There are not nearly as many people working on the island this season as there have been.
Nope.
Because there's not room for 30 people underground.
No.
They get a very pinpointed crew.
4 or 5 people maybe, or at a time underneath there, if that. Yeah. Somebody to man the drill, and then they got the hammer grab going down there when they need to, because the spoils are being maybe pulled back and dumped in that area, so the hammer grab can go down there and
yeah, I mean, they've got some people from Irving are running that crane, and they've got Choice drilling with their drill rig. Couple of people, couple of 3 or 4 people. Dumas can't have more than 6 or 7 people there.
Right.
I've heard 12.
Have you?
Yeah, one of the aerial shots that we saw had, I'm going to say 3 or 4 run. I mean, I presume they're all in red jumpsuits, so overalls. So I'm thinking there's at least 4 or 5 for sure.
What do you guys, folks? What do you folks think out there in the chat? What do you think? Do you think that they're tunneling right now and they're on their way to whatever void they found? Is that what you? What do you think is going on? Do you think there is? Why do you think they've emptied out the swamp? Here's your chance to jump in there and give your speculation. Yeah,
I have a speculation.
Yeah, Roy says, wouldn't it be ironic if the treasure was found on the woman's memorial all this time? Yes, it would be.
This would be the perfect time to actually work in the swamp if it was drained, because the weather's getting cooler, the ground's getting a little harder.
Yep.
You won't have as much sludge and stuff.
Yep. Frost warning tonight, so it's going to continue to firm up nicely.
Yep. So I think that's what they may be doing is making it a little firmer than it was last year. Work late in the season. The ground's a little more solid.
But they have to get permission to go in there.
Yep.
They may have.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Certainly could have. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I still don't see the money pit being in the women's memorial. I still see that as an access point.
Oh, it could be. Yep, for sure.
To go underground and to drill from and to haul things in and out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because otherwise they would have just gone straight down to the bottom of that and found the money pit.
I think the Women's Memorial, that tunnel, that searcher tunnel that was there in the base of the Women's Memorial, was the perfect spot to utilize getting underground and starting to do what they're doing now. I think it was the perfect spot. And looking at where they got the crane sitting, obviously they didn't want the crane down on the flat of the money pit because there was other things they wanted to do down there. They didn't want it in the way. Its position where it is right now is a perfect spot to be able to work in and out of that pit, that shaft in the Women's Memorial. So it makes absolute sense that they were able to go in there, remove the wood, rebuild it, make it stable, and an entrance for them to then start drilling towards their target, and that target found by the muon technology was where they're headed, and they're looking for that Gearhart dump truckload of gold and silver. Right. We talked to Ian about that when he was on the show with us last Friday. He made a comment about that. He goes, oh yeah, he goes, oh, that one's his big comment that he made is everywhere. It's like, well, you got to hold up to it now. Let's see that big thing come out of there. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up. So I tell you what, it has been a great time and again, we didn't get some of the guys that said they were going to pop in. That's okay. We know they're very, very busy right now. They're in the peak of their filming season and everything going on. Plus,
honestly, there's a lot of internet connection down here too. A problem still.
Yeah, that too.
There's a lot of it's spotty in a lot of places.
Yep. Yeah, it surely is. But we really appreciate all you folks coming by and hanging out with us here tonight and giving your speculation of what you think is going on and the comments that we have. And I'm just rolling back through them. There was a lot of good comments, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming by. And we appreciate Laird Niven, of course, for stopping in with us. And those other folks, we'll find out. We'll get to talk to them a little bit. We know that everybody was safe and sound as far as the people that are Oak Island related. We know that Scott Barlow, he has family up there. That's where he lives in PEI, correct?
Yes.
So we know that place got hit very, very hard. And again, our thoughts and prayers are still out with all the people that still don't have power up in that area. So a couple things, folks, coming up here real quick. I just want to go over here on the show. We do have James McQuiston coming on Wednesday night, the 5th. That's because this is coming Wednesday night. That's James McQuiston. He'll be talking about his new book. That's at 7:30 Eastern time. We'll be on with James McQuiston. Don't forget, Beyond Oak Island starts Tuesday night. That's at 9:00, right, Linda? That's
9:00 Eastern.
Uh-huh. Yeah, 9:00 Eastern is the very first episode of this season of Beyond Oak Island. And what was that one about again? That was the.
This is about the Emerald City, the Atocha, the shipwreck called the Atocha.
Yes.
And they are going to be working with the Mel Fisher Museum.
Yep.
It's down in the Keys. And Mel Apt, who is Mel Fisher's grandson, is kind of the go-to guy for this episode.
Yep. And what news can we talk about that news yet?
I think so.
He's coming on the show.
He's going to be on the 13th.
Yes, we're going to do our first recap on the 13th. That's a Thursday, the 13th. That's when Tom and I we all do the Beyond Oak Island episodes, and he is coming on the show with us. So you're going to see him on the episode Tuesday night. He's coming on the show with us to talk about that episode on the 13th. That's a show you're not going to want to miss. And we'd love, and thank you, Jan, so much for going out and working that and getting that for us, getting him for us. We appreciate that very, very much. And then we've got Karen Public Cover coming on the 12th. So it's Wednesday, the 12th, Karen Public Cover. And then on the Beyond side, I want to talk about that just real briefly, that we have Carl the Crusher. This is Beyond Our World side. Carl the Crusher. If you don't know who Carl the Crusher is, and if you're a Skinwalker Ranch fan and UFO and paranormal stuff, check him out on YouTube, Carl the Crusher. He also has a Facebook page. He is coming on the show with me and John. That'll be Thursday, the 6th. And then we are also working on James Keenan. James Keenan and I were discussing him coming on. Probably going to be the 20th, I believe. We don't have a confirmation just yet.
We already have someone on the 20th. So
do we? Okay. All right. Oh, all right. I don't have it on my calendar, so no, we don't.
You aren't paying attention to me.
Whenever do I do that? Come on.
I noticed Dale's taking your hat out for a test drive.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
I'm keeping it. It's mine.
Okay, I see.
I'm going to get that hat back.
Wouldn't that be something if you did?
That'd be cool.
Or the way you got it last time. You want to tell that story real quick before we say goodbye? How you got it back? Or Dale can tell it.
I can tell you.
Oh, how I got it?
Yes. How you got that hat the first time?
I'm going to cry if I tell it, but I'm going to tell it anyway. We had a lady that we pulled the name and she won the hat. We called her up. Linda and John had a little bidding thing going on. We called the lady up and Linda offered her $1,000 for it. And she said, oh my God, yes. So that's how Linda got the hat. The lady used the money to pay some bills that she was in desperate need of paying. So Linda helped that lady out with her money. And then it helped us at Christmas Daddies.
And that's how she got the hat. Really interested in the hat.
Wasn't interested in the hat. She just wanted to help kids, and she made a donation and won.
Yep.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi.
So that was really cool. It really was. And Linda donated. She bought the hat from her and got the hat, and then she's turned around and donated it back for. There it is, right there, the hat. And she's donated it back this year. So there it goes again. So now
everybody's signature on it.
Everybody, yeah,
everybody. It has Judy Rudabush and Aaron King and all kinds of people that I didn't expect to see their names on there. So it's a great hat.
It really truly is.
$5 per donation, and you get one entry every $5 you donate. And we're going to draw on November 23rd. So this is going to close on the 15th of November, so we can get all the ballots and everything in, and then we'll draw live. And we hope to raise a lot of money. www.christmasforthekids.ca, and it's all being donated to Christmas Daddies.
Yep. Fantastic. We really appreciate that. And one last announcement, too, is that I've come up with something new. We'll see how this works, folks. I have a Discord channel that we have started. And in the description down below is a link to your invite to this Discord channel. If you don't know what Discord is, it's a place where you can chat, talk live, or, if you've got a headset, a microphone or whatever, and you want to get on there and talk about Oak Island, Skinwalker Ranch, paranormal stuff. There's different channels for different people. You'll see the link down below. It's Discord, and it's a place for us to chat with each other offline, and there are no moderators there right at the moment. I mean, we do occasionally pop in there and do some stuff, so please be kind and be nice when you're in there. And if somebody gets to be a big just behave.
Someone asked about sorry,
go ahead. I was going to say real quick that if anybody gets in there and starts a big ruckus, then we'll have to take care of that. But it is there for us to be able to chat either on using your microphone and just talking about whatever, or you can just type if you want to do that. It's Discord, and the link is below in the description. So we'll leave it up as long as everybody stays cool with it. All right.
Christy Wall asked if that was the hat Dan Blankenship signed. This one? No. Dan signed this one?
Yep.
This is one of the last ones that he signed, because this was given to us by Vanessa from Rock.
Yep.
Right.
So this was one of the last ones that, you won't find.
And I'd be okay with that hat too.
I would be great with that hat.
Yeah.
I can hang that up.
Now, some of the signatures are smudged because it was on the island, and
it
passed
was
it up and-
worn on the
It
island.
was worn on the show, and then it was given to them to sign. So,
Look at that. That's awesome.
but it's got Dan, Dave. It's got everybody on here. A lot of people on here.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the one I want to win right there.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see about that, won't we? All right. Yeah, I don't know how many people are going to be trying for it. But anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by the way, October 20th, we have Rob Westrick coming
that's
on
You did
to
mention
do Beyond Oak Island because we do all of our recaps on Thursday nights. So episode 2 will have Rob Westrick as our guest.
I just put it in. See, it is on my calendar.
See?
Jeff, some people are having a problem with the Discord.
Oh, okay. Let's see. It's invalid. Oh, all right. I'll go check that out. It should said it was okay. All right. Let me go. I'll go fix that. I'm sorry. I'll get
I
that
have
fixed
not
right away.
gotten on there since you've.
Yeah, my son,
What were you
my
saying?
son and his friend are the whizzes with this thing, but I may have grabbed the wrong link. I'll get that. I'll check that out and I'll get that fixed. So check back on that a little bit later, and then we'll make an announcement and also in the Facebook group as well for that. So, all right, folks, thank you so much for being with us here tonight. We really appreciate you guys hanging out and seeing some aerial photography of Oak Island, and also hearing about the aftermath of the hurricane that went through there. And again, hopefully those people will get back in PEI and all that, where they got hit so hard, will get back up and running real soon.
Right.
And our hearts and prayers are out for those people as well. Thank you, Dale, Tom, Linda.
Yep.
Linda, coming back on the show.
I got some homework to do before Wednesday.
Yes, I got
Read
mine.
fast. Read fast.
James McQuiston, Wednesday night at 7:30. We'll see you guys right here on Wednesday at 7:30. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, people.